Hello, it's Jill and welcome to my YouTube channel, My Craft. Today I'm going to be showing you how I've made this beautiful little card called, it's Bumble Lodge from Lavinia stamps, some of my favourites. It's quite a long make, so I'm going to show you how I've done that and hopefully speed a bit of it up so you don't have to watch me do everything. To start with, I'm going to use a 5x7 card and I'm just going to mount my image onto the top of it. So I'm starting with a piece of just a plain ordinary cream coloured card. It is quite thick, and I've cut that down to 4 3/4 by 6 3/4 to fit onto the 5x7 card. And I've mounted my stamp up already onto my stamping platform, so we'll just pop that into there. Pop a bit of a magnet down here and another one up there. And we're going to ink up today in VersaFine Clair Pinecone. I didn't want anything too dark. I didn't want black because I felt it might be a bit stark. So we're just going to gently tap all over with that. Let me just wipe that little bit off there just in case. There we go. And just pop that into, down you go. Pop that into my platform there. Tiny little bit of pressure just to make sure that we've got everything. And there we go. How lovely is that? So let's just leave the platform. I'm just going to give that a little blast of drying. There we go. So I've made myself a little mask of that, and all I've done is stamp it onto a post-it note with a little sticky bit down the side here. So I'm just going to quickly pop that over. Don't do the top bit, don't bother with that, that's not a problem. Let's make sure we get that in there. It's really this bottom bit that I want at the moment, and I'm going to be using the Fairy Path. Let's just get that onto the block. Ink up with the pine cone again. And I'm just going to pop this into here, like so. Possibly could have got away without a mask, but I just felt it would be nice. I didn't want to over stamp onto the little house. Just going to pop that over there then. Give that another quick little blast. So I'm going to be colouring today with some watercolour pencils. Move it out of the way. And I've got 3 colours here. A terracotta, golden brown, and a deep cadmium. And here we go. Right, so to start, hold your pencils right at the end here. Just very gently. And by doing this, you actually colour with the side of the pencil rather than the whole end of the pencil, so you don't get a lot of pressure on it. And we're just going to quickly fill these in, and I'm just doing every other one for the moment in the yellow. I'm going to come in with the brown. Right, now that I've got that first layer on, I'm going to come back in again. Just add a bit more depth of colour. Right, so now I've done that, I'm just going to activate that with a tiny bit of water. Now, when you put water onto your brush, you want a damp brush. You don't want soaking wet, so just take some off on your cloth here, and then we can just very quickly activate these colours. See how that pops. Lovely. Let's give that a little dry. I'm just going to add a little bit of shading. I've got a third colour here. This is the terracotta. I'm just going to add a bit of shading where it tells you on the stamp. That's the good thing about these. They've already done the work for you. So all the slightly darker areas are actually already done. And you can just go over them just to add a bit of depth of colour. Now I'm just going to do the wood bits that go around the edge here. That's that. Now I'm just going to start on the little building underneath. So I've chosen a few different colours for that. And we have brown ochre, deep vermilion and orange chrome. So I'm just going to start with some of the bricks on the little house. Just colour a few in the orange colour. Just pick out anything really. Don't have to do anything rigid in order. Just anything at all. Bricks are like that. Let's come back in with our water brush. There, how pretty is that? So that's the little Bumble Lodge done. I'm just going to move on to these little bricks, boulders or whatever they are, little stones, and the pathway. I'm just going to add a little bit of highlight there, just all over, nothing too particular, perhaps just where the lighter areas are. Then I'm going to come back in with my orange. Just to add a bit of interest. Same for the stones. Right, so I'm just going to add a tiny bit of moss. So I'm going to come in with a tiny bit of green into some of these darker areas here. And you can see straight away that adds a real bit of defining, or definition I should say. A little green there. So there's nothing too particular. A few little stones there that I've missed. It's fine. Okay, in with the water brush again, if I can find it. There we are. And it just activates that colour beautifully. Right, let's give it a little heat blast again. Right, so this is where the mask comes in, because I'm now going to put a bit of colour into the background. I'm just going to mask the little house again. And I've also done one for the pathway this time. There we go. And I'm going to use distress inks for this. So we've got Broken China and Rustic Wilderness. I've also got a little mask here, which is from Inkulicious. These any sort of hill masks will do. I just wanted a tiny little bit of definition, so that I've got some sort of hint, if you like, of a hill in the background. Right, what I need to do, and I haven't got ready, somewhere to take my excess ink off. There we go. I'm just going to take. I don't want it too dark. Just very gently coming in. With a very, very pale. Using the cream card gives you a nice bit of light in the card, if you like. Nothing too particular again. Right, so that's the blue. Let's come in with the green. Sorry, let's get that into camera shot for you. And again, start off the page. Use that now. There, I think that's absolutely fine. Right, I'm going to leave my masks on a moment because I'm now going to stamp with the I'm going to stamp some lavender here. Where have I put the lavender? There's the lavender. Beautiful stamp. Let's get that onto my little block. Right, now for this one I'm going with Olympia green and also Imperial purple in the VersaFine. So what I do with this one, just ink up a little way up the stem, not forgetting that stem in the middle there. And then, because I've got a bit of overspill on here, I'm just going to take that off with a little cotton bud. And then I'm going in with my purple. I need a bit of scrap paper. Let's pop that on there. I'm just going to stamp once. Twice. And I'm going in again. This is how you can get two colours onto the same stamp. Unless you want to colour by hand. I'm pretty much like, you know, let's do it quickly. Let's pop another one here. And another one here. That's fine. Right, let's do the masks. So that's done with the lavender. And then up the side here, I went with Trailing Ivy. So again, I'm coming back to my green. I've got this small Trailing Ivy somewhere. So I found my Trailing Ivy hiding away. Right, back to my Olympia green VersaFine. And again, I am going to use the mask this time. Just going to pop that on there, ink up my little stamp. Actually, this is Climbing Ivy, it's not the Trailing. Just make sure I've got this up the right way. Or does it go up the other way? No, I think the first way was the right way. Right, okay. So let's go. So I'm just going to trail this up the side of the house a moment. Brilliant. Excellent. Sink that up again. I'm going to bring a little bit in actually over the roof itself. So I'm just going to use a post-it note. And I don't want all of this stamp in there. So I'm just going to come... Where do I want some? Let's go there. Brilliant things, post-it notes, for this kind of thing. And then again, we're just going to have a little bit more up here, I think. Excellent. That looks really pretty. So now we've got our trading ivy. What am I going to come in with next? I'm going to come in with the woodland mushroom, or the mini mushroom, toadstool, whatever it is. Okay, back to the pine cone. I just think we'll put one there. And a shadowy one there, second generation. Let's go with a couple of these. Another one there, perhaps. Yeah, it's cool. Fabulous. So now I've done that, I'm going to stamp from the top now. So I'm going to come in with Spanish moss. Again, beautiful stamp for this kind of thing, Spanish moss. And again, the Olympia green Versafine. I can't remember what this is called if you've got the Versafine Claire. This colour green. I'm just going to stamp a few around the edges. Is that in shot? Yes, you are in shot. Again, do your second impressions. Just adds a bit of depth. Yeah, brilliant. And that's built that colour up really lovely all around the edge there. Now then, wanted to do some little tiny butterflies floating away just to fill this little space in here. There we are, butterflies. And I've come in with this one with the Warm Breeze. Now then, this is definitely one where you want to stamp off and come in with that second generation. Just floating away there. There we go. Next up, I'm just going to add a little bit of a border around the edges. For that, I'm coming back to the Versafine Distress Inks again. So we've got the Broken China and the Rustic Wilderness. So I'm going to start off with the Broken China. And I'm going to do this all the way around the edge because that's really pretty the way it is, but it just needs that bit of a pop of colour. So let's just see if we can focus in, bring the eye in by adding this bit of colour around the edge. Pale. Lovely. The other thing I wanted to do actually was add a few little hills. I'm going to do that with this Wilderness on the little mask again. Let's just pop a few little mounds of whatever here and there. Just adds that little tiny bit more interest into the background again. Lovely. Right, let's go around the edge now. The green. There, how pretty is that? Right, I'm just going to do a few final finishing touches. So I wanted to make that little toadstool have some red dots on it, so I'm just going to colour over like that. It's not really a massive difference, but it just finishes things off. And then, where's my white pen? There we go. A few little white dots on the mushrooms as well. Toadstools, aren't they? There. So that completes that image there, and then you can just mount it up onto your card like so. Well, I hope that's given you a little bit of inspiration. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again next time. Thank you. Bye.